just keep them closer with repetition, man.
That's what's going on.
Okay? And that goes into keeping thy foot, man. Always knowing where you at. Always knowing how to carry yourself ethically and in every way around the body, with your friends at work. Okay, always being a constant reminder, okay, of what you're involved in. Right? It's just not, you come out to camp, you do a couple, go into the world. No. You have to literally become that new man. And how does that happen? Through practice, through repetition. You got it.
I got a scripture. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahweh Shah Mashiach. I'll read it again. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned.
Continue now in the things that we have learned, okay? Coming into this thing, we heard the word, okay? Okay, as the scripture says, the Spirit has gathered them, okay? So we came in this thing, we heard it, go ahead.
Kind of land back off your point, you know what I'm saying? To be put out, beautifully, to practice, that's you continuing it, constantly doing it over and over and over again, man. And it said, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Being assured of, knowing, okay, being confident in what this is. Going back to that faith, when you believe in something, you have faith, you are assured in that. Can't nobody sway you of that. You understand? Go ahead.
And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
Right, as a child, right, because we all came into this thing as children. Though we grown-ass men out here.
That was yours, I don't know.
Okay, but we had to come into this thing, we had to cut off the old man and everything that we thought we knew and what? Enter this thing as a baby, man. Okay? Not knowing nothing. Okay, it's scripture, Isaiah 28? Who will he teach doctrine, make understand doctrine, roughly paraphrasing? Them that are weaned from the milk is drawn from the breast. All right, so we had to come in as children in this thing, man, and grow thereby. Learning the foundation, which is the milk first, man, before we can chew this heavy meat.
Okay.
All right, but it's all done through what? Through practice. And it was given us, all this knowledge comes from the throne, man.
I got a precept out. I got one for you, brother.
Go ahead.
In 1 Corinthians 13 and 11, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
See that? When I was a child, I spoke as a child, as a nigga. I behaved as a nigga. I treated others as a nigga, but when I came into this thing, that's when that austerity came in. That's when the real man came in. It's like the priest said earlier, Shaquat was talking. Okay, one thing you can say for sure, we ain't no niggas up here. All right, these are austere men up here, man, of the Lord, man. All right? Preaching and understanding and righteousness, man. Speaking with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. Knowledge and wisdom and giving understanding. I hope that you receive it. You see?
It's Hebrews chapter 2 and 1. Therefore, we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we shall let them slip.
Give the earnest.
I was going to get that Greek word slip for you. That word slip in the Greek, Strong's G3901. Pavareo, and it says to glide. It says a thing escapes me, slips my mind. Lest the salvation which these things heard show us how to obtain slip away from us.
That's just what we're talking about, all right? Keeping these things close to the mind, man, to the la'ab, to the heart, man. All right, and how do you do that? Through practicing, through repetition, man. At least you forget. Because the times that we come in, that's why I said knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of that times, man. Because there are going to be cats that are in Israel, man, they're going to forget. Once the shit hit the fan, Jake gonna panic. Why? Because we're coming into a day that we have never seen before, the day that's never been since there's been a nation on the earth, man. We're gonna see some amazing things, man. It's gonna be easy to forget. That's why it's beautiful. The Lord has given us His grace right now to give us this time so we can get this right, because the Lord knows what He's finna do. So he's giving us this time, man, to do it over and over again. Returns over and over. Get it right. Study, study, study. Because when I'm getting ready to put that smack down, it's going to be all hell. Right? The only thing that we really chiefly have out here is each other. But even within each other individually, you got to have your own relationship with Yahweh Shah, man. And that's key.
It's easy to fight when you're not under pressure, but once that pressure is applied, you know, that's when it's really shows like what you did with your practice time.
Yep.
What you did, you know, when coaches was running those drills on you.
Yep.
Now when you're in the game, the pressure on you, everybody's looking at you. You know, you fighting. I mean, you're in the game with a hurt knee or whatever. You know, how you still gonna react? How you still gonna perform? And that's what the Lord's preparing us for. You know, that's like you mentioned that you mentioned grace period, man. The grace period isn't, you know, set for us, you know, in this liberty, you know, to just do what the hell we want to do. It's set for us to ultimately forge our minds to where we can walk a certain type of way that's pleasing to the Lord in the time of the hour of temptation.
Right. These are the times that we in our we've been here. Okay, repent and return to Yahweh Shah, because the door of forgiveness is closing. All right, and you're not going to see the men out here preaching this word no more. You're not going to see videos no more. All right. All right. So with that, I pray that you was edified. And when you give all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakudash.
honors and salutations out to the elders, apostles, great leaders, sons and daughters of the truth. Well, shalom.
Shalom.
Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.